Hi, Witold Suryn here. Today I would like to present to you the second part of the documentary about the concert of my symphonic music that has been performed and recorded by Northern Film Orchestra in April 2024. The part is titled There and Back Again. My interlocutor is orchestra's director, Mr. Jack Hughes.
Welcome to this video. My name is Jack Hughes. I'm the director of Northern Film Orchestra. I'm joined here by composer Witold, who's just done his recording session with us. Would you like to introduce yourself to the camera, Witold?
Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Witold Suryn. As I was introduced, I'm a composer. I came a long way for the session. I came from Montreal, from Canada. So this actually documents why I chose NFL. If there was something else, I wouldn't fly that long.
Yeah.
It would take enough time. So yes, today I had my session, and I have to tell you, it's incredible. It was a feeling like you were born again. It's for a composer when you can hear all the music with the real persons, with the real expression, and the real spirit of what is composed. So for that, chapeau bas.
So it's absolutely worth the time spent on the plane to get here.
Absolutely. I suspected it may be that way, but I didn't suspect well enough.
Yeah, well, that's really great for us to hear. So obviously we're thrilled that you made the choice to come and be here in person. And yeah, it was really nice to hear your music come to life.
I found about NFO by pure coincidence. It was the Eric Turnerson that had his competition, and I participated and I talked with him, and then he gave me some few good words about you, so that started our cooperation. You are the boss and the owner. What about the competition?
The competition? Well, I mean, there's a lot of competition. I would say that in Eastern Europe, there's quite a few different groups.
Exactly in Eastern Europe?
There's a lot of groups. I mean, you got one called Famous Project, which I think in North Macedonia. You've got one in Sofia in Bulgaria. I'm trying to remember the name of that. I think it's called 4/4 Music. You've got Budapest and Prague, which you've got quite a few different groups. And then I'm trying to think where the other one is. I think that's most of them. But yeah, in Eastern Europe, there's quite a lot of film music, orchestra recording services. My thoughts on them, I mean, I think it's good business. I think it's a good strategy from that entrepreneur sense. They're taking advantage of the musicians they have access to, and they've made good networks out in Hollywood and LA for those bigger projects. And yeah, I kind of welcome it on the whole. I think historically you've only been able to record in London or LA at like some of the big studios, so the fact that there's more options now for composers to say, I can choose London, I can choose LA, I can also choose Eastern Europe, or I can choose Manchester.
You had any chance to compare the type and quality of the services with yours? I'm just asking from a pure curiosity. Well, once I worked with you and I'm satisfied, I'll stay with you. But I saw quite a few competitors. One of the most aggressive is this European Recording Orchestra. They are very aggressive.
Yeah.
So perhaps it would be the good idea to stand against them.
the end of the day, it's very different. Using them as a particular example, they're in the European Union. They're also essentially the biggest orchestra in the country, which is Bulgaria. So the Bulgarian government is going to be very willing to give them funding, isn't it? Whereas the UK government were pretty low down the agenda of funding orchestras, and if they were going to fund orchestras, they'd pick the bigger ones. So, I mean, yeah, I don't really see it as like head-on competition. I more just see it as people who want to write orchestral music now, they have lots of choices where to go. Hopefully they choose us for reasons that are to do with customer service and for enjoyability and for the experience and also the musical quality. That's all we can do, really. We can't control people's minds. We can just do our best, and then hopefully they'll choose to come to Manchester.
Let me have a few words about the cooperation with you. It started some time ago, as you know, and my original tune was composed for 52-piece orchestra. Then, as we both know, it was not that easy to find many other composers who would like to write music for such a relatively big orchestra. So I had to reorchestrate rather severely what I have composed. And here I had an enormous help from Melvin Ty, the conductor and musical director. This guy, I'd say, thanks to him and the other half that was sitting in a booth, both of them, they were doing magic. I mean, I didn't have to actually intervene too often or just rarely. They did what they did, and I was able to listen to my music live in concert hall. And that was a really incredible experience. I've been composing music for over 40 years for different genres and different instrumentation and generally different stuff at all. But that was something extraordinary for me. So of course my music is pretty much everywhere around, but samples are not the same. I mean, nothing replaces a real musician talented with spirit, with knowledge, with experience, with agility. Nothing is going to replace it. I have the best samples actually that are available on the market, and still those few guys did it way better. So yeah, I think that your idea for creating NFO is a very smart one. And I feel I will be continuing cooperation with you.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have you back anytime. I feel like when you do an orchestra session, it makes you want to write more music, because then you start thinking about what's the next thing to do, what are like the new possibilities.
I already have a new idea, mostly thanks to, once again, Melvin and Andra, the first violinist.
Yeah.
I will be composing a string quintet with flute.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
The first violinist will be Andra, because she was really great during this. I've observed the other concert, the other preparations, and she was really good.
Yeah.
So the composer from Canada met the director from the UK in the orchestra from the UK. By the way, we are sharing the king, right?
The king?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, the king. Yeah, well, it's the same person on the money.
Absolutely, yeah. Commonwealth, we have the same queen, we have the same king. So yeah, it is in family. It's a
good union of Canadian and British. So there's no alternative in Canada or North America that you've been able to find?
I'll tell you, actually I didn't try to find anything, because it was like a very quick shot. Once I got the information about you, I've been following you on the internet, and I found it works for me. Then for the moment I didn't look around. Of course I may look around. I'm not entirely sure if in Canada, I'm not sure if it exists. Of course, in the US it exists, but probably the prices are killing because you know you try to get the session with LA Orchestra. No, you'll never get enough money to pay for a 1 hour session. So I didn't check it in the US, but this is a good point. That's a good point. Probably there's if Europe figured that out, why shouldn't Canada figure it out? Just I may not be aware of. Cool. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Yeah, no, thank you for coming. I appreciate you making the effort to fly over.
We were meeting, yeah.
And it's been amazing having you in person. So yeah, looking forward to another chance to record.
Oh yeah.